important to grab the reader's attention? Why is attention important, Rachel?
So you might stop reading it if they don't like it.
Oh, you got to keep reading. No, the good stuff's in the back, or the good stuff's at the end, or the good stuff's in the middle. Guess what? I don't like to say that one part is more important than the other one, but I'm telling you right now, if your beginning doesn't really grab your reader by the throat and say, read this, they're not going to get to the middle or end, especially in this day and age when everybody's attention span is. Did you know, Charlie, that goldfish have a higher attention span than we do? Goldfish have an attention span of 8 seconds. I think human beings, it's like 4 now. That's pretty, it used to be 7. Now it's like 4. I first wrote an article on LinkedIn about that, and it was 8 to 7. And that was like maybe 2-3 years ago. It's probably 4 now, if not less. Trent, isn't that crazy? Chris, JJ, isn't that crazy? So you have to, and by the way, guys, you know how you grab attention? Don't try to be run of the mill. I want you to take a dip. I want you to dive headfirst into the pool of creativity that's in here. I want you to get drenched in that creativity that you have in here. Think about your audience. What will make them keep reading? And guys, this has tantamount parallels to your real life. Presentations, interview, proposals, staff meetings, when you run a company, when you work for a company. The ability to encapsulate attention. How many of your professors can actually keep you engaged the entire class? How many? That's awesome. Me, I had in 3 degrees, which is like 18 years of school, I maybe had 2 the entire 18 years that kept my attention the whole time. The rest, boring as fuck. I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry. They didn't know how to keep my attention. They didn't talk to me, first of all. They looked at a visual aid the entire time. Little side note, if you're ever giving presentations, Bianca, don't use your visual aid as a crutch. Just a little side tip. That shows you don't know what you're talking about. If all you do is read a visual aid or a PowerPoint. How many people have professors that just read from a PowerPoint since day one until the day they die? Yeah, I had a million like that. I actually went up to one and go, are you going to teach us something? I actually went up to one and confronted one. He hated me. He was like, how dare you? I go, well, I mean, let me just tell you how I feel. And I was very honest with them. I said, look, every time I sit in class, the first thing you do is go to the PowerPoint. And it doesn't feel like I'm on my phone or I'm on my computer. I know you don't notice me not paying attention. It's just not engaging. I would actually look at us once in a while and talk to us. He hated me. Oh my God, he hated me. I think I still got a C in that class. But I turned in stellar work and I still got a C. I knew he hated me. He couldn't flunk me because he knew my shit was good. But he wasn't going to give me a B or an A. And I totally accepted that. But, whatever. Learn how to encapsulate attention. Learn how to grab attention. It is a skill that will translate into every facet of your life. I capital P promise you. And the best way to do that is not formula, not A squared plus B squared equals C squared, but by dipping into that well of creativity. We all have, by the way, guys, Kevin, even you, we all have creativity. Every single human being is endowed with creativity. We may not all be Mozart. We may not all be Picasso. We may not all be Emily Dickinson or Shakespeare. But every one of us has creativity. Tap into that, your imagination. Einstein said, you want your children to be intelligent? Read them fairy tales. Trent, what does he mean by that? He even said even further, you want your children to be more intelligent? Read them more fairy tales. What's the world of fairy tales? Who said that? Dylan, say it louder. Thank you. How many people know who Einstein is? Connor, who's Einstein? Famous scientist. JJ, do you know anything about Einstein? He's the dude with the hair. Delart? Yes. What was his famous contribution to science? Lindsay, do you know? Hannah? Yeah, which is basically the theory of relativity. Pretty much how everything in the universe sort of works in some sense. How gravity works. When Einstein was stuck on a problem, this is why I want you to implore and really cultivate your creativity. One thing that's an absolute fact, and please look all this up. Nez, I don't believe a word you say. Remember what I said on day one, Jacob. I don't want you to listen to every word I say. Well, I want you to listen. I don't want you to believe it blindly. I want you to investigate for yourself. When Einstein would get stuck on a problem, Amber, you're going to love this. Any musicians in this class, or anybody like play even music mildly? Charlie, what do you play? Oh, nice. How about you, Dylan? That's rad. So Einstein would get stuck on a problem. We're talking like Goodwill Hunting style problems. If you ever seen Goodwill Hunting, like the kind of math equations that you just go, how's that math? That's like a work of art, right? When Einstein got stuck on a problem, he would go play his violin. He knew the power of creativity. He had to take his mind off the problem. I wish we talked about this more in education, but we don't. And always, always after he was done playing violin, always, always after he dipped his toes in that well of creativity, when he came back to look at the problem, something changed. Something changed. He saw things in a different way. He saw things more creatively. He tapped into that muscle, that creative muscle. Think about your audience first. That's the rhetorical situation. Rachel, think about your audience. Trent, what would make them want to keep reading? What would entice them to want to keep going? Because if I don't come up with something, they're gone. There's a million, trillion, zillion people just like you trying to grab attention out there. Not to scare you, but there's nobody who has you, your perspective, and your voice. Your voice is unique. Use it. Use it or lose it.